Having the right type of stuff in your carry-on luggage when you go on a longer flight can make or break the flight experience. So today I'm going to share with you what I'm packing for my long trip from Australia to Sweden. Let's go. Alright, so when it comes to carry-on luggage, a really big part of good carry-on luggage is the bag that you choose. And I'm super excited because I recently bought a new bag, not sponsored at all, and I absolutely love it. So this is from the brand Nordace, again not sponsored, but I will leave a link below to this bag because I really like it. It's a great everyday work bag, but it's also a really good carry-on for the plane. It's of a decent size, it's a backpack, it's got all sorts of wonderful things to it, and I'll show you a couple of them now. So the first thing I really love about this bag is that it has a side sleeve. Now it's not quite big enough for the water bottle I normally use, but it's great for an umbrella or something like that, or a smaller kind of half-liter water bottle. It's also got pockets here on the front. It's got a main compartment for all your big stuff, and it's got a separate padded sleeve for your laptop, which is really good. So this has the right amount of compartments and things for my personal taste, and I love that it's a backpack that you can easily carry around, and it also has a little strap so it goes over your wheelie suitcase if that's what you have. So having a good bag that's not too heavy but fits a lot of things is really good. A bag like this is also great for while you're away traveling. So I want you to think about your carry-on bag as something that's going to be useful for your flight as well as when you're out and about in your other location. So when you've picked your bag, for a lot of the women out there, depending what airline you fly with, they might only allow one piece of carry-on. So I think with my flights, I'm actually only allowed one carry-on. So my handbag, and if you haven't seen the video of what's in my handbag, I will link that up here for you as well as below so you can check that out. But this bag is very flat when it's empty. So what I'm probably going to do is take all the bits that I need from here, put them in the front pocket here, and put this in big suitcase that we're checking in, which means that I have all the stuff that I would normally have with me in the front pocket easily accessible while we're away. Next up is things relating to the big C word, the big pandemic word, and it is stuff that we're probably going to need while we're traveling. So I've got hand sanitizer, I've got antibacterial wipes, and I've got extra face masks. My partner is also going to pack a few obviously in his bag so that we both have a few extras to wear on the plane and while we're in transit. It is really good to bring this stuff with you rather than buying it at the airport, because again, if you've forgotten to bring this, it might very well be that you have to pay extra amounts of money at the airport, which no one wants to do at the start of their holiday. The next thing that I always bring when I travel is a water bottle. This is a metal water bottle. I'm not quite sure how big it is, 600 ml maybe, but it's really good. I really like using it, and obviously you'd finish your drink or whatever you have in it when you go through security, but almost everywhere they have filtered water these days, so I can easily fill this up at the airport instead of paying $5 or $6 for a bottle of water, which I don't really feel like doing. The next thing in the same vein as the water bottle is to bring some snacks. Now we are on a long international flight and we are going to be getting food and snacks along the way. But my partner being gluten-free and airport prices being very expensive when it comes to food, I went to Aldi and I picked up some raw unsalted nuts, and I picked up 5 packs of muesli bars. And a good tip is to take this out of the box when you pack it into your bag. So I'm going to chuck about 5 of them in my carry-on, and Paul is going to do the same in his. And this just means that after we've checked in while we're waiting for the flight, or as we're flying, if we feel like a snack before it's dinner time on the plane, we can have a snack and not have to deal with paying crazy airport prices. Next one up is technology. So we are going to be away for 6 weeks and I'm going to be working while we're away. So I'm going to be bringing the very camera that I am using to film this, but here is the case for that camera just for size comparison. So it's a small camera, but even the camera, the microphone is probably about the same size as this, and I will also be bringing my laptop, my headphones, and my laptop charger. Next up is an obvious one, but please make sure to bring your passport and check that your passport, long before you travel ideally, check that your passport is still valid. Some people get a nasty surprise at the airport when they don't have a valid passport, so I'm definitely going to be bringing this. And in my last video when I was talking about clothing to pack, I did talk about making sure that you have a few items of clothing with you on the plane, because it is not uncommon for luggage to get lost or delayed, and it's nothing worse than starting your holiday, having to rush to the store and buy something to wear. So in addition to the items, the jeans, the runners, and the set of clothing I'll be wearing on the plane, including my jacket, I have brought a couple of things, only a few items to put in my carry-on. So I've got 2 extra pair of underwear, I've got 2 short sleeve tops, I've got 1 pair of socks and 1 pair of shorts. Mostly because we're going from winter to summer, I wanted to bring the shorts with me as well so I can change at the airport if it's a really hot day when we arrive. We arrive very early in the morning, so we might be fine, but just in case I wanted to have some extra sets of clothing. And if you normally get on the plane wearing, you know, flip-flops or something like that, do remember that airplanes can get really cold, and that's why a nice pair of warm socks can be really, really good. Talking about comfort, I have my little travel kit. If you've seen my previous packing travel video, I will link that up here as well as below if you haven't yet. But this is just a little pouch I got from an airline years ago, and in this I have an inflatable neck pillow. This is a really good one from Kathmandu here in Australia. I really like this. I used it years ago when we purchased them. I've got an eye mask, earplugs, and a little adapter for, you know how the airplanes always have like the headphone jack is a little bit funny. So anyway, I've got those items in here, and that along with my warm snuggly socks, my hand sanitizer, etc. should hopefully mean that I can relax and maybe even get asleep on the plane. The final thing for me personally is books. I really do like reading, but obviously books can be pretty heavy. So for this trip, I will be bringing my Kindle, which I have had for years. I used to never like reading things electronically, but this Kindle is really good. You can change obviously the light setting, so it actually feels like you're reading kind of a regular book. It's not very heavy. The charge lasts for ages, and you can have heaps and heaps of books on here. So I've got quite a few books on here that I want to read on my holidays, but I also did get this from a friend who just finished it and said, take it along with you, leave it to someone at the other end if you like. So this book isn't very thick, so it won't be too heavy. So that's what I will be bringing for entertainment other than watching movies on the plane. So now that you know what I am bringing, let's try and pack this into the bag and just see how well it fits. And that's all the stuff that I'm going to be bringing with me on this particular trip in terms of carry-on. One thing I didn't show you was that I will also be bringing toothbrush, toothpaste and a moisturizer. Obviously we want to stay minty fresh even if it is a longer trip, and I often find that my skin gets really dry from the plane, so having a nice moisturizer that works for your hands as well as your face is just really nice. You would have also seen that I fit my water bottle on the side there, so this little umbrella is going to go in my suitcase along with my handbag. And that's essentially it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I would love for you to share any packing tips that you have for your carry-on in the comment box below. But the same principle really does apply to, as I discussed in my previous packing video. Sometimes we do not need as much stuff as we think. There'll be plenty of entertainment on most airlines these days with movies and games and other things that you can play. So, you know, don't overpack, go and enjoy your trip and try and be as comfortable as you can in the process. All the best, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.